So all in on this build so far, we're only sitting at around, let's see, so we got a GTX 1050, so I had this lying around, but right now you can probably get one for 120, 130 bucks. The Optiplex was $65. The original Xbox was another 15 bucks. So right there, we're sitting at 80, 120, around 200 bucks. 50 bucks for the SSD, so 250 bucks, and probably an extra $10 for that 40 millimeter Noctua. So right around $260, $270 for, a pretty legit gaming PC, an i5 4590, 8 gigs of RAM, and a GTX 1050. So now that we have it all put together, we are missing some pieces that we had to remove just so that everything would fit. So one of the pieces that I 3D printed was this grate, just to match the existing, Xbox look, but just raised up a little bit to meet for the power supply. So that looks really, really perfect. It fits perfectly. So I'm just gonna glue that in place. You still have a little bit of a gap there, but besides that, it looks really, really good. So put this in, and then I'll show you some of the other pieces that I 3D printed. So here's another piece we 3D printed. So I had to, where the DVD tray was, I just printed sort of a really thin 3D print around 0.05 millimeter or 0.05 inches thick, so I could easily bend it. So now it's bent to sort of the curve of the front of the Xbox. Still have plenty of ventilation because that is where our PSU fan is. And then I'm gonna do same for where the controller ports are. And here we go. So now we have that piece glued on. So we have a slight ridge right there, but from the bottom, the grate is continued perfectly. So I'll get the bottom plate in, install the front, and show you guys what it looks like. There's the front of the Xbox. So once I have, the controller port covers in there, I'll show you guys that, but we still have plenty of airflow there for our PSU, and we're gonna have enough in our PSU here. Then when we take a look at the bottom, there's our cover. I'm probably gonna print out a little piece just to fill in these gaps. But yeah, looking good, looking really good. It's got the back plate all finished up in the 3D printer. So we mashed it really nicely with the leftover grill that was already there from the Xbox. Just hot glued it in. So now, when we install this, I'm not actually hooking up any of the wires right now, but this goes in, and look at that, looking really, really nice. So now I have a 40 mil fan coming for this grill that I left here. So 40 mil. So now we're just gonna get a quick game of Fortnite going. Quick solo around. So we're playing on a 1080p panel. And again, it's only 60 hertz. So we'll see. I'm gonna jack the FPS up to unlimited once we get in game. But for right now, we'll just keep it at the 60 frames per second. So we're running, again, i5 4590, GTX 1050, no overclocking, nothing like that. The only thing I did was turn on high performance mode in power options. So we're sitting at around 3.7 gigahertz at all times. So I'm just gonna crank the frame limit to unlimited. And in terms of settings, we're sitting at epic view distance and medium or low settings on the rest of the Fortnite game settings. And we're sitting right around 100, 120 FPS, 140, 150, so it spikes all over the place, but around, 100 to 150 FPS. So you might be able to manage this game at 120 hertz 1080p panel with this kind of hardware, so 4590 and a GTX 1050. And here, again, to look in the settings a little bit more detailed, medium, low, 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 and then that epic view distance, motion blur off, VSync off. But in game, really, really smooth. Some stutters, but nothing too crazy. Anywhere from, again, 100 to 160 FPS. Once we get down on the ground, we'll start to see more so what kind of frames we're seeing. Just gonna make this pretty quick, just to give you guys a little bit of a flavor of what kind of performance we're getting. So, now that we're on the ground, 140, 160 FPS. So again, you might have some frame drops, but you could probably manage 120 FPS on a 1080p panel. It's pretty sick for this kind of gaming PC. Very limited clearance on the CPU, but temps are still only around 70C. Right now, the high is 80C on the CPU and around 80C on the GPU. The thing is getting a little bit loud. So that Noctua fan, because it is a 40 millimeter fan, does get decently loud when it does ramp up. And that'll go up to around 5,000 RPM. And the CPU fan does get a little bit loud as well, just because of how close it is to the case. So we'll try and see if we can do anything here. All we have is a pistol, so I doubt it. But again, even in combat, pretty good FPS in that situation. So there you go, just to give you guys a little bit of a flavor in terms of what kind of gaming performance you can expect with this kind of hardware, especially when you're modding it in this kind of case, which the case looks awesome. The actual appearance of it looks cool. Performance-wise, not the best when it comes to thermals, but besides that, I'm really happy with it. Give you guys one more look at the finished design. Yeah. So here we have it all finished up. Front looking good. Got the grill in there for the power supply to keep that intake. And when we turn it around back, looking really good. Do you ever 3D print a backplate? It's really nice. Really happy with it. For $15 Xbox, $15 Xbox, $65 Dell Optiplex 3020. Got the i5 4590. A GTX 1050 that I just had lying around, so that was probably around 120 bucks. And our 500 gig SSD for 50 bucks. So all in, right around 250 bucks for a super cool sleeper PC built inside a retro Xbox. So if you guys like this video, if you want to see more content like this, please like the video. Helps grow the following, brings this kind of entertainment to some more people. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Get more updates on future videos, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.